There are several things that our culture says are the good life and the focus is on areas like competence, individualism, impatience, and celebrity. I'd like to provide four alternatives. I think the good life, as Jesus would say prayer before competence. Competence is important. When I have somebody come over to my house to wire my garbage disposal, when I turn it on, I don't want my garage door to go up. So competence is important. Competence in everything. There's nothing wrong with competence is vital. But when we depend on competence, when we lean on competence, when we trust our competence, that's when we learn that competence is a cul-de-sac, that there's no way out, really, except to turn around and go back the other direction. Prayer is where we begin. In humility before God, learning to hear His voice, to hear what He has to say about the present condition of my life and of those who are living around me. Just like Bonhoeffer, what is the will of God? So we learn about the will of God. What is God's will for me in this moment, in this event, in these experiences? Then there's community over against individualism. Individualism is, yes, we're all individuals. Yes, we have certain things that only apply to us as individuals. We're responsible for our actions. We are born into this world as an individual. We'll leave this world as an individual. So yes, individual, that's important. That's a reality. But community is where our character is tested. And we talk about the good life. It's about living a life in connectedness to other people. It's about loving those people and being loved. It's about trusting and being trusted. It's about sacrificing for other people. It's about living for others. That's the good life. Again and again and again, Jesus is essentially saying, if you live for others, you're going to be happy. You are actually going to be very happy, and you are going to have peace in your heart. Now, that's if we do it for the right reasons. If we expect something in return of equal value or even greater value, then of course there's room for resentment and envy and jealousy and a lot of emotional garbage. But that's not what we mean by community. Community is living together. It's loving one another in an environment of grace, relationships of trust. Then there's endurance rather than impatience. If I were to say, is there the number one sin of the American public, it would be impatience. Impatience isn't just the human condition. We want things and we want them now. And as technology has improved in the last 30 years, now we have things that are immediately available to us that was never available to us like that before. And so when we think about spiritual growth and about maturity and about the development of our character, we think everything is urgent and we need it now. And this is particularly true in the church culture, where every year has to be better than the next year, where people believe that we got to have growth and we got to have it now, right now. And we want it on our terms. But forming Christ in people, it takes time. In fact, it takes a lifetime. And it's urgent, so it cannot be delayed. But it's slow, so it cannot be hurried. And urgent just is, in our culture, it's the thing that people feel, the tyranny of this urgent. And so patience is the first thing that is thrown overboard when things get stormy, when pressure's on us, we have to get things done right now. The first thing that we throw overboard is patience, or endurance. Endurance or perseverance is the key to a great harvest in our own lives. That's what Galatians 6:9 says, that we'll reap a harvest if we do not give up too soon. And then there's humility above celebrity. Our culture is so celebrity driven. There are people now that we can watch television nightly and see many, many stories about people who are famous for being famous. They've not really distinguished themselves in any way, except maybe in an infamous way. But we celebrate people for being odd and strange, and even being wrong and being evil. The Christians, Christians, we have our own celebrity system. We've mimicked the system of our culture. But it's interesting what Professor Robert Hogan learned in his studies at Harvard Law School. What he learned was that when he studied all the graduates of Harvard University, thousands upon thousands, what they found about the leaders, the number one quality of their great leaders was humility. Now, what is humility? Humility is the freedom to live for others. It's being somehow released from everything being about self and being ego-driven and being, I'm competent, I'm an individual, I'm going to grab on for everything I've got, I'm not going to be patient, and I get celebrity as a result of it. Now, yes, our flesh, that immaterial nature that wants to do wrong, that wants to put self in the center, yes, that we love that kind of stuff. We really do. But the good life is living a life based on humility, serving other people. Now, celebrity may come to people like that, and it has. And people like that have tremendous impact on other people. And so my encouragement to you as we think about what is the good life, let's rediscover the life that Jesus called us to, that he explained in his Kingdom Manifesto in Matthew 5-7. And remember, blessed is the person who hears his words and does them.